basketball's up and underway. This will be the 6th meeting between these two teams. The last time they met, 1989. So they're rekindling that Midwest magic, this time in the nation's capital. And here we go. First possession goes to Notre Dame. It's been so impressive to see a freshman really leading the offense for a Power 5 school. Maddy Westbeld puts it in early. Cook, we mentioned, back in this lineup, which means Genesis Bryant gets to play off the ball. Number 1, Genesis Bryant was the point guard for those 3 games where Cook was out.
And right away, you notice for Notre Dame, Hassan Prosper, who is in the starting lineup for Sonia Citron, getting the assignment of Cook. But right away, I like the call by Niele Ivey. Everyone has to do more with the absence of Citron and also Miles, of course. But getting the ball in the inside and getting a high percentage look from Westbeld is the way you want to start your offense.
Focus for this Notre Dame team was getting off to a better start than they did a couple days ago against Northwestern. Niele Ivey in her 4th season. That first year was the COVID year, so many things were different. And this is a storied program in women's basketball. 9 Final Fours, 2 championships. You have so much pride when you put on that Irish uniform.
And Niele's been a part of it as a player, as an assistant coach, now as a head coach. And this is a team that was picked to finish 4th last year, Zora, and ended up winning it all. And of course, Niele, ACC Coach of the Year, the first black woman to get that title.
Cook going to the floor, slowly helped up by her teammates. Time, Genesis Bryant at the top of the key, shot clock winding down. Offensive foul.
And defensively, Cook had the assignment of Hidalgo, and they want to contain. This is a team that doesn't want to be in defensive rotation, but right there, help on the baseline, just missed the layup.
Bryant getting right into the offense for the Illini. Rattles that one in.
The growth of Genesis Bryant and her role on this team, in particular the absence of Cook. Even if it was only for a couple games, she really had to take the reins.
She's had a chance to really show off what she can do, getting more time, more opportunity. That's Westbeld from the outside, a big that is proving she can shoot from any area on the floor.
And that pick and pop action actually hurt Illinois in their loss to Marquette. And talking to Shauna Green, she said she wanted to do some things defensively, but really challenging her bigs to get out on the shot.
Hidalgo picks the pocket, converts on the other end.
She's not afraid to go after the possession and puts in the footwork. It's one thing to get your hands in there, but to stay in front of the defense with your feet, incredibly difficult to do.
Shauna Green encouraging her team to take care of the basketball and get past that first layer of defense. They do exactly that on that possession. That's McKenzie.
Did the same thing last year in this very same event, Zora.
With the Mabrys?
Yeah. Living rent-free. All the sisters from
Three
Notre
different
Dame.
sisters. This Illinois team is in the middle of a massive transformation. Plus 15 when it comes to wins. And Shauna Green's first season, they had 7 wins a couple seasons ago. 22 last season. McKenzie to the glass. Back-to-back times.
Really too easy getting to the cup. Another foul called on screening act. But going back to what Illinois did last season, so impressive. Shauna Green in her first season, changing the culture there, getting them back to the NCAA tournament the first time in 2 decades.
Hidalgo back at it. This time 2-on-1 break. Westbeld driving in. The way that Notre Dame was able to run the floor in transition there. Rejected at the rim by Bransford. That's a player that's really high on the China.
There's some energy in this building from the Irish, as there should be. But there's absolutely an increase in the swag and the confidence, and Niele Ivey noted that with the addition of Hannah Hidalgo. I mean, she comes in.
We've been talking about Hannah Hidalgo, but Juju Watkins, what she's been able to do at Southern California so far. So many of these freshmen.
Full Wiley at South Carolina. Oh my goodness, she's a monster.
Westbeld getting it going. 6-point deficit here for Illinois. Trying to get away from the feistiness of Hidalgo, and Bryant does.
Paint touches against the Irish defense.
Well, that's something that Shauna Green really had an emphasis on. Meantime, the other way, both these teams battling on the boards. Lands in the hands of Bransford. Westbeld, attack mode.
For the Irish this season, gives them some size, rebounds, has poise, just a knack and feel for the game. But in the meantime, Westbeld is eating.
Backdoor cut by Cook ends in a couple extra steps.
So who better to step up in this situation than Westbeld?
Second quarter underway. Cook getting into the lane, slides with that pivot foot.
Coach Shauna Green really focusing on matchups. She wants to make sure that defensively they're matched up correctly, and then offensively they're exploiting the mismatches that they can have. And then defensively as well, boxing out.
Shauna Green said, hey, we fought back. We were without our leading scorer and one of our best defenders. And credit to Marquette. I mean, Megan Duffy has that thing rolling, and they're going to be a problem in the Big East this year.
Bryant has Hidalgo on her. Taking care of the basketball, paramount for Illinois. Just enough space. Bryant connects. You've got Cook and Hidalgo matched up against each other. Veteran versus the freshman. And Notre Dame taking its time in the half court. Hidalgo!
She can score it, quickness off the bounce. What do you take away?
And then defensively, what she does on the other end. First she goes outside, then she goes inside.
In terms of the recruits and have been shaking it up on the courts across the country as a youngster, but to come into this level so seamlessly is just really impressive.
Mackenzie wasting no time. She's used that move multiple times today on either side. Adalia McKenzie has a couple buckets so far. Hidalgo drawing contact again.
Use their speed against the size on the perimeter of Notre Dame, and Bryant and McKenzie.
These are some of the other freshmen that are making waves across the NCAA. Nador with the screen for Bryant. Bryant getting right into the lane, the reverse.
And they're picking up the slack.
Isis, what you got going on?
Trying to get key touches off of the bounce, off of penetration.
Watson puts it up, gets her own rebound. Two chippies missed at the rim. Talked about Bryant and her ability to score today. Back to the free throw line she goes. She had that vibrant first quarter with 12 points. Got Marshall, DeWolf, Westbeld, Hidalgo, and Bransford in the game.
And that is football or basketball?
That would be football.
Oh, sorry.
China.
I didn't realize it was still. I didn't know it was still football season.
The up and under Boston.
Her leadership and just the way she goes about the game, very businesslike in her approach. The communication. Listen to her on the backside of that defense.
Westbeld picking up right where she left off.
And getting an angle to score. Boy, Adalia McKenzie is quick off the bounce. Good transition defense by Notre Dame. An underrated basketball IQ. I don't think bigs get the credit that we deserve because that girl knows her basketball to step up in the absence of Citron.
This is only Bransford's second game this season. Coach called her dynamic, and what I thought was so... Isis, join in on the conversation.
I was just going to highlight foul trouble becoming a little bit of an issue right now for the Fighting Illini. 4 players
for Illinois. So you're now seeing Shea Bolin as one of the bigs, number 22 coming in for Illinois. DeWolf knocks that down, holds the follow through as she should. Shooters just keep shooting. Missed the first couple and continues to let it fly. Under a minute to go here in the first half. Bryant on the bounce, gets it to Cook. Bounce right off of the Irish. Westbeld bringing it up. Foul as Hidalgo was driving to the lane.
Going back to that last bucket by Anna DeWolf, she was 0 for 5 on the season from long range before she hit that one. So it had to feel good because that will be part of the expectation for her role with this team will be an asset. In particular, in these next few weeks,
Anna DeWolf, we mentioned the fact that she's a transfer from Fordham. I asked Niele Ivey, how did this come to be? She said, well, we played Fordham, and I was so impressed with what Anna DeWolf was doing there. I saw her name in the transfer portal, and I thought she'd be great for our system. She's showing it now in this game.
Yeah, she's got that spunk. She's got that chip on her shoulder. That is part of the Notre Dame pedigree.
Way to Peebles. Fades away, rebound to Westbeld. Shot clock is off. DeWolf makes the decision to slow down, get the last shot. Notre Dame in the middle of a 9-0 run. Before it goes, Hidalgo bumped it in! Time and time again. What can she do?
If you want to know who has the juice, Hidalgo has the juice. Off of the bounce, time expiring. She just finds a way to get an angle. And wait a minute.
They're calling an offensive foul.
Wow.
Surprise to us and the crowd.
I need another look at that.
So that is how the half ends. We all thought it was an and one opportunity. We're almost underway in the third quarter here. Notre Dame ended the first half on a 9-0 run. Right now has a 10-point advantage. Same starters as the first half for both teams. Isis, what's going on?
Well, I talked to Shauna Green at halftime, and the first thing she said was, I love our team's half-court defense right now. Where they're getting scored on is in transition. They've got to make the adjustment to take care of the basketball and continue to battle on the boards. And then for Notre Dame, Latina, you've hinted at it, but ball screen success right now with Maddy Westbeld on the pop. They want to continue this. They want to continue recognizing those mismatches, finding success inside, and then defensively, better rotations on the guards, specifically Makira Cook and Genesis Bryant. They really are looking to limit them in the second half.
Now Bryn Shoup-Hill and Makira Cook both have 3 fouls. They've gone to the bench early in this second half. The Wolf will pump fake, showing the versatility in the game, misses at the rim.
And look for Illinois to try to get 44 going. Camille Hobby, the transfer, 41, the transfer from NC State. And Brian just says, no, this is a quarterback keeper. Forget the post, but Hobby's a big addition to this team with her size, her strength, her power on the interior. She's had a nice start to her career in Illinois.
2 threes for the Wolf in this game. Gets it right back at the top of the key. She already has 17 points. Looks like she's going to keep this one. Long strides. Genesis Bryant back at the free throw line. See these taller, bigger players on you. Is your mindset to use that first quick step to get around and use that as a way to get to the rim? Is that what she's been doing?
Well, I mean, in my days as a small, quick guard, I would definitely be able to speak to that. But no, you're right. I mean, you've got to find an advantage. It's obviously not jump shooting over the size of an outstretched arm of the defender. So you use your feet. That's your advantage. Your quickness to get around a bigger player, which tend to be slower.
KK Bransford going back to the free throw line. Had a couple trips in that first half. McDonald's All-American, 2-time Miss Ohio basketball. Take some time to find your role in college because, of course, you're playing at the Division I level. You were it in high school more times than not. Aggressive defense by Hidalgo. That's her 5th steal of the game. I was talking to Hannah Hidalgo, and she said the reason I came to Notre Dame is the way that Coach Ivey recruited me. She still feels like she's recruiting me now. Niele Ivey in her 4th season at the helm of Notre Dame basketball. 21st season at Notre Dame in some capacity. 5 as a player, 12 as an assistant, and now in her 4th season as a head coach.
Well, I'm sure she's relentless in the recruiting of Hidalgo because that's how she is in every facet of the game. You are rattling the defense from the jump. And Notre Dame jumping back into zone here. Zone press into the zone half court.
Quickly the other way goes Bransford, coast to coast. Westbeld cleans it up.
You have 2 incredible leaders in Shauna Green and Niele Ivey who get to come to the nation's capital and interact with these fans. And the leadership here in the city is just a really well-organized and well-thought-out event.
Care of the basketball. She actually stood up and showed them how to protect the ball from Hannah Hidalgo and said they have to take care of the ball or they cannot win this game.
For sure.
15 turnovers, and that was a key to the game. If they wanted to be in this game.
And this was a concern of hers, that she hadn't seen someone pressure the ball like Hidalgo, but I expected, there should be a ball screen up here at the front right now just to get her off of the ball so they can start their offense. That could be a way to relieve some pressure.
Yeah, we did see a little bit of that early. Actually, Hannah got caught on a screen in that way.
Well, Charlie, you mentioned the fact that you didn't know that football was next. Well, that pass looked like a quarterback to a receiver there.
It did. Excellent pass, and Notre Dame's got it clicking right now.
Hidalgo slowing it down here. Step back, Trey. And the touch pass from Watson down to Westbeld. 11-3 run for the Irish. Here comes Cook. smooth jumper.
Yeah, shooting and to be able to add to the offense for Illinois.
Watson working down low. Cook has the ability, green light, to do it whenever she wants. Off that time. They get another crack at it. Genesis Bryant, 19 points. Leading Illinois right now in the scoring column. Two-woman game works out. Nice.
If you want to not only get back into this game and win it, I believe that her offense has to be a big part of it because, quite honestly, in the front court, they're being outperformed right now.
They just keep going to Watson, and it keeps working.
And to grow, because they're both on the rise in a big way.
There's Prosper on the run, gets caught up, and
tell me about my Deeks. Do they have a shot? Does my Wake Forest crew have a chance?
The quarterback for Notre Dame, Sam Hartman, went to Wake Forest, so it is a personal meeting.
That is.
But Notre Dame is coming off a loss to Clemson, so they will be looking for redemption in the win category.
I hope my Wake Forest Demon Deacons take it out on Sam because
we know who you're rooting
now
for.
A traitor. So.
It's been 4 years there. It's okay. You thought you rooted for the ACC and plays like that from Hidalgo. The motor keeps moving for Notre Dame. It seems like they get on a run and they just find momentum off of that.
And this has been the story of the game. It's been steal or rebound and headed the other way. And again, just running the floor. You got to credit the way you see even Nat there running the floor because what she's doing is taking away one of the defenders so Hannah can get right to the rim. And so it's a team effort in transition. And that's something that Notre Dame worked on after their loss to South Carolina. Ball movement, spacing, really taking advantage of their transition game. And you see where they're thriving. They've had back-to-back games of 100 or more points for the Irish.
Notre Dame averaging 95 points per game.
Just so quick, decisive, fearless, and going left on the finishes is really impressive as well, and how controlled she is going to that side of the floor. I mean, I think she catches the defense because she can really finish with either hand in a very crafty way.
Isis, you can add something.
Well, guys, I grew up knowing Hannah. Again, Jersey girl connection, but I attended Life Center Academy, and that's where her brothers and she went in middle school before she went to Paul Six for high school. She battled against her brothers. She was always the smallest one in the gym, trying to get in every single drill, not afraid to challenge the boys. As she drops off a beautiful dime, and she's always had this swag about her. I think it comes from just having to fight off four brothers all your life.
Sounds like that'll prepare you.
The Irish taking their time on this possession. Go to Hidalgo again. No good. Nador diving on the floor. Foul on Notre Dame. That is her fourth personal, Kylee Watson. She only has one more foul on the day.
Every ounce of success for the Irish. Mabry and Allen. So both of these stats you could look at it in terms of just the continuity. I mean, much more so for Notre Dame, but that's important.
Kylee Watson, Maddy Westbeld, both on the bench with 4 towards the end of this third quarter. Allen coming off a 16-point performance.
Climbing the numbers on both sides, so that could lead to some interesting lineups in the fourth quarter.
Will they get a shot off before the buzzer? And they don't. Notre Dame is up by 16 as the fourth quarter looms.
Still a quarter to go, and we'll see how much fight the Illini have in it.
Just 2 3-pointers on the afternoon. Quickly the other way. Kenzie met at the rim by Natalia Marshall.
Illinois can get back to and really capitalize on in the fourth quarter. Not only is Notre Dame in some foul trouble on their front line, but if you really get some ball rotation, let the ball touch both sides of the floor, get the defense moving, they've got the quickness to get to the rim and score some points that way.
And of course, getting to the free throw line allows the clock to stop, and another way to get back in this basketball game.
Yep.
Marshall asking for it. A little handoff to Hidalgo with a nice wraparound pass. Oh! 8 assists for Hannah Hidalgo. That was pretty.
Not afraid to thread the needle. And she has turned the ball over today. She's got 5 turnovers, but you live with that if you're Niele Ivey because she has such a feel for the games on the ball to get that in the hands of Nat Marshall for an easy finish.
They go back to that action. Little off on the pass, so they'll have to reset. The Wolf looks like she was looking at the basket. This time, takes it to the deck. Bransford sets her feet. Yes! Do it! Threes in the air for KK Bransford. They're having fun out there.
Good patience. And it's important for Notre Dame to score in the half court. We know what they can do off of their defense. That's been a lot of their offense tonight. It's been off of their D. But they got to be able to execute in the half court, and that was a great example.
Mackenzie continuing to go what's working. We talked about the importance of being able to score in the half court. Largest lead of the afternoon for Notre Dame.
It goes without saying the game of basketball has changed my life, but sometimes it takes one person seeing something in you, and Coach Priester did that for me, and we didn't have the money for me to play AAU. My mom couldn't get me to practice. He found a way to make sure that I stayed included in the program, and again, I got a scholarship to Wake Forest. It was life-changing. We love you, Coach Priester. And she answers the call.
Just one more note on Fred Priester, a great pioneer of the game.
Coaches that understand players and their dreams and their willingness to help them accomplish their dreams, it can go so far. It just was a touching story to me to hear that Coach Ivey said, hey, you missing one game?
That's what I love about both of these programs is these coaches have excellent connections to their players and really believe in them beyond the basketball court.
Shauna Green said she went into the meeting room with her Dayton Flyers and said, hey, I have an amazing opportunity at Illinois. And Makira Cook said, I'm coming. I will be there. And this team is fighting to get back.
Showing a lot of spark here in the first few minutes of the fourth quarter.
Oh, and it's almost like the extended ball pressure of Hannah Hidalgo has rubbed off on Genesis Bryant. You saw she was getting up in Hidalgo's grill. That's where you're going to get back into this game. She gets past everybody in
the second line of defense. You have to figure out a way to trap her and get the ball out of her hands early in the possession if you want to keep her out of the paint off the bounce.
Bryant left alone.
Some changes in defense a little bit here for Illinois to try to keep Notre Dame off of balance.
Mackenzie has been able to do just that all game long. The passion and emotion for fouls, so the Irish need to be careful. 3-point play. And there's something, too, when you're trying to get back in a game, you see that 10-point mark approaching, and it changes things mentally. Big possession for both teams. Bransford gets the screen from Westbeld, that pick and pop motion that you talked about, LaChina. It's good!
Never seen her talk as much in her career as she has today. In the absence of some of their veterans, their junior class in particular, Westbeld has been fantastic. Wow.
Bryant!
The footwork, outstanding.
Wow. The skill set on display on this court right now. I know so many of these players aspire to play in the WNBA. Well, no better platform to do it than the home of the Washington Mystics. Westbeld asking for the ball. Hidalgo hugged by Makira Cook, and they call it a timeout. If you're Illinois, you want to capitalize on a call like that. Added pressure from Westbeld. Bolin looking for help. Bryant has been going one-on-one all afternoon, and it continues.
What travel? Wow.
And the beat goes on. Hidalgo bounces off of the Illini. 4 games this season, Hidalgo has scored over 21 points in all of them. Remember, this is her first year in college basketball.
And if not for the injury, the unfortunate, obviously, injury to Olivia Miles, there's Cook. And you got to credit Notre Dame, who has sped Illinois up. They have made them play faster. It's one thing to play with pace. You don't want to play fast or quick because that leads to turnovers and mistakes. And we've seen a great opportunity to continue to see where they can improve and where they are. And even though they do have Makira Cook, it's her first game back. You can tell she's still trying to get a rhythm for the season. Bostic
giving Cook some space with the screen.
Shout out to Lobo for the assists on the rules.
Hidalgo slowing it up. 12-point lead for Notre Dame. 2 minutes to go in this basketball game. Fourth game of the season for both these teams. Records stand at 2-1 for both Notre Dame and Illinois. Both teams coming off wins on Wednesday where they put up 100-plus points. Here's Hidalgo, Euro step, put it in America. Our Citibank player of the game is no other than number 3.
24 points, 8 for 14 from the field, 7 for 11 from the free throw line. Niele Hidalgo has been exceptional here in the nation's capital, leading her Irish to what looks like will be a victory with under a minute left in this game. But it's also what she does on defense, as this team racked up 31 points off turnover, and that starts with her intensity on the defensive end as a freshman, Zora.
This is the second year that Notre Dame has put on the Citi Shamrock Classic. They took on Cal a season ago, got the dub in that one, and Coach Niele Ivey's hometown of St. Louis, Missouri. This year, the game comes to Washington, D.C., where Hannah Hidalgo put on a show. Westbeld with the tip-in. Time winding down. Bryant gets another one up.
Get the 30-piece in the books.
Yes, her second one of the season. And the Classic will come to a close. Final score, 79-68. 2 20-point plus scores for Notre Dame. Can't forget the 30-piece by Genesis Bryant.